Hi, my name is Nomalangam Sally Moses, your life balance expert. I help women who struggle to balance marriage, motherhood, and money making. And today I have my friend Debbie Peterson, who's a wonderful expert, and she also, just so that I get it right, I'm going to read exactly what she is. She is an expert at helping fed up midlife women discover and fulfill their purpose with confidence and clarity. How are you doing today, Debbie?
I'm good, Noma. Thank you for having me.
I'm doing great too. So let's just jump right back on topic. Today we're going to discuss confidence, which is a key thing in women's health, I believe. And I believe that to live a healthy and balanced life, you have to give some consideration to your confidence. And Debbie, you have a wonderful program that includes 7 steps to reaching confidence. So can you share what those 7 steps are just quickly, and then we'll focus on the first one.
Sure. Well, I found that in my own journey to confidence, there were 7 things that really helped me along the way. And the first is to be the best you. The second would be learning from your experiences. The third would be focusing on what you want. The fourth, training your brain, which takes a lot of work. The fifth is being authentic. And sixth is taking action. 7 is more outwardly, and it's developing your personal presence, or your personal brand that you display to the outside world.
Okay, great. So today we're just going to focus on the first step. And can you repeat the first step for us?
The first step is being the best you. And generally what that means is people tend to compare themselves to others. They think that they need to be a certain place in their journey or a certain place in their career compared to where other people are at. And really what it's about is being your own best version. You were born an original, not a copy. So stick to yourself and remember it's your journey and not anybody else's.
Oh,
so
definitely.
Be a little gentle.
Definitely, I can definitely relate to that, Debbie, not just in myself, but in also women that I've worked with and that I've spoken to. Today, I actually just put up a status update that said that, when you're in business, comparing can be an excellent tool because you can compare how you did last year to how you did this year, and then with those comparisons, you can see how you do better. And I said, but the key thing is you can't let comparison creep into your personal life where you start comparing yourself to other people or the stage in life that you're in to another person's. And the funny thing is, don't we women seem to do that a lot?
Oh, yes. Yes. And comparison can actually be healthy when you're comparing yourself. So, for instance, you spoke about comparing where you were this year to where you were last year. That's a very healthy examination. That if you're comparing where you are this year against where somebody else was last year or where somebody else is this year, that's when it kind of gets tricky, when you bring other people into your comparison.
Right. And I know the reason why you're telling us that we shouldn't compare ourselves is obviously is detrimental to us. Can you tell me at least a couple of things, the way in which it negatively affects you?
Well, it's interesting because I just saw this video this morning and it resonated with me pretty strongly because as a new entrepreneur and putting yourself out there, oftentimes you think that there are so many people that are doing the same thing and you're comparing yourself to all those others that are doing what you want to do. So if it's speaking, if it's coaching, if you're a dentist, if you're a restaurant owner,
right?
Everybody's born with a purpose. Everybody's here for a reason. And if you have a gift, you're meant to share it. If you hold that gift back because you're comparing yourself to someone else who's already doing what you want to do, if that comparison causes you to go inwardly, then, that hurts you and everybody else around you because nobody gets to hear your voice or your gifts.
Right. And I agree with you, Debbie. I'll be honest and say that whenever I've found myself drifting into kind of comparing myself to other people, what it does is it actually creates negative feelings and emotions in me because somehow it seems like when you compare, you take your worst and you put it up against somebody else's best. And we all know that oftentimes what we see in other people's lives isn't the full story. So we take our full story and the negative aspect of it and take somebody else's bit of a story and compare it, and then we end up feeling demoralized and demotivated. So I'm definitely guilty, and I'm glad we're having a conversation about it.
And then how many things, if it starts with that one thing, how many more things do you add to it then? What else do you start comparing yourself with?
Right.
It's just kind of a spiral.
Exactly. And I just spent the weekend with my my husband's family, which of course is my family now, for the last 10 years. And one of the things that we talked about was my sister-in-law says she admires me because I have such beautiful curves. And I'm always I'm always, I won't say jealous, but I'm always telling her, like, man, I just want to be just like you, really toned and lean. And she's like, oh, no, I want to be like you. I'm lean and I'm fit, but I always wish I could have more curves. And that's the funny thing. Her and I obviously joke in a funny, lighthearted way, but that's really what comparison is about. You take what you don't like about yourself or you don't like about your life, and then you take another person and put them into the equation and see how good they are and how bad you are. And I not to say that it works the other way either, Debbie, and I'm sure you'll attest to this. It doesn't work the other way either, where I look at myself and feel better and think somebody's worse than me.
Exactly. Right. But here's one thing that you can do. Kind of the neat thing with it is when you see someone that's doing something that you want to do, that is terrific. And as long as you don't let it defeat you, the fact that it's in your universe, so to speak, or in your reality means that you can have it. So that which you aspire to can be yours. You just have to figure out how you're going to get it. So if anything, it should be encouraging instead of discouraging.
I completely agree. And I just want to reiterate that this is just one of the first steps in your 7-step program to increasing your confidence. And of course, the first confidence killer, if we look at it from a negative point, is comparing yourself. So that's the first thing, is don't compare yourself, and instead celebrate your individuality, your uniqueness, and be where you are and don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Does that summarize it?
Exactly.
Okay, great. So what we'll do is the next time that you and I get together and hang out, we'll talk about the second step. But I do want every time that we talk to kind of give an outline of what our 7 steps are. So today we covered the first step, which is don't compare yourself to other people. And like I said, I feel like women are definitely people who do this to their own disadvantage. And then you can give us the other 6 steps. And the second step is?
The second step is learning from your experiences.
Okay. Great. So the next step is learning from
really great topic.
Learning from your experiences. So the next time that you and I catch up and hang out and discuss these women's issues, we'll touch on step number 2. Again, I want to just tell everybody that this is Debbie Peterson. She's an expert at helping fed-up midlife women discover and fulfill their purpose with confidence and clarity. I'm, of course, your host, Nomalanga Sally Moses, and I help women who struggle with balancing marriage and motherhood. And I just thought it was great to catch up with Debbie and have her share the steps to getting walking in your confidence, I will call it, but definitely building your confidence. So until we meet again, thank you, and thank you, Debbie, for hanging out with me.
Thank you, Noma, very much. Have a great day.
You too. Oh, Debbie, you're not going to forgive me.